Hello, this is Jenny from crafttestdummies.com, and today I'm doing a video review of the Color Splash Puffy Putty from S&S Worldwide. Now this clay is an air dry, lightweight modeling clay, and you can kind of see in there, there's a lot in the tub, and the texture of the modeling clay is really kind of lightweight and foamy. It's actually a little wet when you first take it out, which makes it cool to the touch. So it's actually kind of soothing to play with. It's foamy, it's spongy, it's easy to manipulate, and you can use it in a bunch of different ways. So I'm going to show you some of the things that I've done with it and explain how I did it so that you can get some ideas for what you might be able to do with it. So first I have to show you. This is cute, right? What is it? It's a 3D sculpture my daughter made. And she used cookie cutters. We rolled it out using an acrylic type roller that we'd use for polymer clay or modeling clay. And then she just used cookie cutters to cut out little butterflies and hearts and stuff. Now, I will give you a little warning. This stuff is really sticky. Like I said, it has kind of a high water content. So when you roll it out, you are going to want to use an extra piece of paper or some saran wrap or something, because I rolled some out before and I let it dry, and you can see how it sticks. So it'll stick to paper surfaces specifically. So, but just to show you, you can roll it out with your little acrylic roller. And now you can stamp it, you can use a cookie cutter with it, you can hand sculpt it. I even put it through my pasta machine. I have a non-stick roller pasta machine, and I was able to roll out really lovely thin sheets. So if you want to stamp it, it's pretty simple, but you are going to want something that keeps it from sticking. So I dust it with a little bit of baby powder before I stamp it. Oop, I just hit the camera. Sorry about that. Then you can also go ahead and dust it with some Perfect Pearls or Pearl X or Premier Artist Pigment, whatever powdered pigments you like to use, so that you can kind of bring out the texture. So in that vein, let me show you some of the things I made, some of my sample swatches. So this is a piece that I stamped, cut out, covered with pan pastels, and then also used some Mod Podge Dimensional Magic to get this faux clay tile effect. And I can tell you that once it's dry, it has a little bit, not a lot of give, a little bit of give, but it's really lightweight. So you wouldn't want to put a ceramic tile on a project because it could be very heavy. You might not even want polymer clay, but this air dry clay has that lightweight feel. This would add absolutely no bulk to a pin or an embellishment, but yet you still get that kind of tile look. So I also did some moldings, and this is going to be hard to see. Let me see if I can bring this into focus for you. Probably not. Okay, so see, there are limitations to doing things on video, but I molded these. I'll have some pictures on the blog on crafttestdummies.com that I actually molded these, and I got a lot of nice fine detail. I was a little worried that because it was air dry clay, I wouldn't get detail on the molds, but fortunately, I was able to. So here's another little mold that I did that came out nicely. Here are some hand sculptures that I did. Nice, okay? So I even did this little embellishment with the air dry clay. By the way, I also took some Perfect Pearls and I incorporated them into the clay. I just kept working it in and in and in until the clay itself was colored, and that seemed to work pretty well. So that's kind of a nice thing. If you buy just the plain white, you can tint it with your own powdered artist pigments. So I don't want to say the worry, but the concern that I had was what's going to happen when it's dried. What are you going to do with it? Because I noticed that when I was using, I tried water as a release when I was doing some stamping and molding, and water just makes the Color Splash Putty wetter and gets slimy like okra, okay? So not what you're going for. You're going to lose all of your detail. It will make your piece soggy. So what I did was stamped all of these little cute butterflies out using a Lisa Pavelka plunger stamp, which is kind of cool because it has the embossing, and then it's the cookie cutter stamp as well. So, but I used a silk acrylic glaze, and I kept the detail. This is Copic alcohol markers, which is interesting. They soaked in and almost created like a matte or velour effect. Totally unexpected that it would look that almost like fabric or velour. I used some dilution spray inks. Again, as long as you make it a quick, light spray with your spray inks or color washes or glimmer mists, you're going to be fine. If you saturate it, it will start to dissolve. Think like, you know, a regular clay. An earthenware clay would do the same thing. I used distress stains on top here. I used some artist pigments, smooch acrylics, and Adirondack alcohol inks, or pinata inks would be similar. So you can use all of those items to tint your clay. Of course, if you use something like alcohol inks, then you don't really have to worry at all about it becoming soggy or messy and ruining the integrity of the clay. Of course, like I said, what you get is this kind of matte fabricy shine. So this is not a product I would recommend sanding because it's so lightweight. I'm afraid that it would crumble. I won't even attempt it. I'm not sure that you were going to want to drill with a Dremel or a bit, but I was noticing you can just take your little pokey tool and just that easy, you're able to put a hole in here for hanging or drilling. So you don't need to do anything fancy to drill. Just a nice paper piercer will do your job. So that's my little overview of the things that I made and my experiences with Puffy Putty by Color Splash, courtesy of S&S Products Worldwide. I think dollar for dollar, it's a great value, and it's less expensive than the other name brands on the market, and it's just as effective. So I hope you'll give this product a try. Thank you so much. We hope to see you over at crafttestdummies.com for more craft tutorials, tips, tricks, and craft news. Have a great day.